one guy who's not going to be in the All-Star game this year is Jimmy Butler.
That's a great segment, man. Give some gunshots for that.
It has been a crazy last month. For anyone who hasn't been following, Jimmy Butler has been trying to get traded from the Miami Heat. It started with a few teams that he would go to. Now it's open to any team that he would go to. Chris, have you been seeing any of this? Are you aware of anything going on with Jimmy Butler? I want to hear your thoughts on it before I go off. What do you think about this?
Well, I just want to. What I don't understand is like I want to know like the backstory on like why he wants to leave so badly and why he's kind of acting like that. Because I thought he had a good fit down there. It seemed like he was playing. He's coming out with hairstyles every year. Having fun. I felt like he liked the team, and now it's what I never like when players are. I don't know, like it just as a team guy, when there's a player like that, he's a great player, but he just has that kind of mentality and attitude and goes to the media and is just kind of being like
a dickhead.
A dickhead, kind of like Tyreek Hill right now is with Miami, right? Like wanting out, and it's like I just don't like that team mentality. And it's like if I'm another team that I'm trying to trade for him, I want him on my team. Obviously, you want that skill, and like obviously you can go somewhere else and be a good fit, but like. Is there not a concern that might be is that what you want in your locker room? Like, do you want that attitude in your locker room? Do you want that mentality where you're going to quit on your guys and just mid-season? Like, this is early. This is mid-season. We're just at the mid-season mark.
Yeah, and this is not the first time doing this. No. I think that's the part of it, too, is like he'd done this before when he was in Minnesota. That's how he got to Philadelphia.
Chicago,
trends, man.
Chicago as well. And it really comes down to money. I think that's the big part of this. He's 35 years old. He got extended while he was in Miami for a 3-year deal. The 3-year deal is up at the end of next season, and he didn't get extended. So
put your GM hat on. Put your GM hat on.
It's a bucket.
Adriel, GM Adriel. Jimmy Butler's 35. Do you re-sign him for a 2-year, 121?
I wouldn't. That's the other part, too, is like, I think they're actually both right. This is one of those situations where two things can be true. Because I don't think it's smart to re-sign him. He's 35, going to be 36 next season. He already doesn't play all the time. Like, he already has injury issues throughout his whole career. So at this age, it's probably not going to get any better. And then on top of it, it's kind of like, you've seen where this team can go. Like, obviously, they went to the finals twice. They had a good shot at it. But I think they can be like, okay, like, we're not going to be led by a 38-year-old Jimmy Butler. Going to take us. And then Jimmy on his side, it's like, this is last big contract. They have the over 38 rule, which is like you can't sign a large contract going through age 38. It's why LeBron's on these 2-year contracts. So it's like, this is going to be his last big contract for multiple years. So I understand him being like, no, I want to secure this money. It's kind of like Paul George. Paul George is around the same age. I think he turns 35 or is 35 already.
Yeah.
And Paul George's contract doesn't look good right now. He's not playing as good as he usually does. But if he didn't do what he did, he would not get that $200 million. So I think Jimmy Butler is kind of thinking like that of
putting him first.
I want to get my money. How do we do it? I just think the way that they're going about it is kind of not great because I agree with you. It doesn't look good for a team trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want that guy on my team? Do I want to have that headache? Like, it's like, yeah, he's a good player, but is it worth all of this?
Like, you want guys who want to win, and like I'm sure obviously you still want to win, but and I'm pro athletes, get paid as much as you can. Like, do what you can, get as much money as you can, 100%. But there has to be that kind of like balance of like, how bad do you want to win? Like, at the end of the day, pro sports, like, to me, it's about winning. It's about winning, being the best in the league. And if you're going to cut, and if it's all only about the dollars, which it kind of seems like, and it's like, you're making it too much about yourself, like, I just don't think that's a good environment for a locker room. I don't think that's a good environment for the younger players seeing that.
Not a good example.
No, not a good example for anyone, right? Like,
terrible example, man. Jimmy, I got to be honest with you, bro. Wherever you go, stop making problems. Just get there and hoop, bro. Just get there and hoop. If you want to go to the Suns, go to the Suns. I think that's the best fit, and we'll rock that way. But I promise you, Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishiba. Yeah, I Googled your name.
Like, think about what teams that he might actually go to. Like,
it's Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
But what are they going to give up to get him?
Bradley Beal. So watch this. Matt Ishiba. Looking at you, I Googled your name today. When you do that trade for Jimmy Butler and Bradley Beal, which I know you're going to do, you are going to regret that. Yeah. I promise you. Ooh. And that's my last thing on that. Adriel, you have anything else to say? Chris?
I hope he goes to a good team and I hope he gets his money. I've been kind of, I don't want to say feeling for him because has no problem paying his bills.
Yeah.
But I think about Kawhi and Paul George the past year where Kawhi signed that extension for 3 more years when he was injured at the time. And then Paul George signing his, $200 million deal when he's been injured most of the season. And it's like, that's what these guys are trying to do. It's like both of those guys probably are not worth their contracts in reality. But it's like at that age, that's what you do is you give me the deal, let me get signed now so I can run off into the sunset. I think Jimmy's just kind of like in a position that they were not in where he's like, my team that I'm on is not going to give me the money. So where do I go get it?
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
Good luck to Jimmy. Maybe by the next pod he'll be traded, so we'll have a whole different conversation.
Yeah. It's just tricky, right? And in basketball, they have the luxury tax, right? There's the caps. Cap's not really a problem.
Yeah.
But like in hockey, for instance, like there's a cap, like there's a big cap, and that's always the issue right now. And the cap's been delayed, and now you have issues where players are like, "All right, you want to win, or do you want us just to give you all the money in the world?" And then you have guys like Sidney Crosby who should be getting paid a lot, go to the game, face of the game for generations, made so much money, and he's taken lower cuts to try to bring on players to his team.
Yep.
And I mean, I know you don't see that with basketball because they can pay them exorbitant amounts of money. But it's like, you gotta have that balance. And like, going back, who are you going to give up where you want to give up some young guys? You want to give up some character guys in your locker room to bring in someone who's not going to, how is he going to gel with the team? And you're going to implode. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Implode on top.
Before you move on, Chris actually makes a great point. Is like that should happen in basketball more because there's more money.
Yeah.
When it's like before, like when DeRozan signed his first big contract, it was $45 million for the whole contract for 4 years. Now guys are making that in 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's like you can technically afford to take less and still have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But guys are like, no, now that there's more, I want more.
Yeah.
If you like that video or any other Mayor Media video, please be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and stay tuned if you want to see more.